What is up, everybody? It's Lawrence again, and today we are here to review the Air Max 98. The Air Max 98 is a silhouette that came after the Air Max 97, which unfortunately is basically a second tier of Air Maxes. The Air Max 98 is basically the ugly stepchild of the Air Max 97. There's something about it that is just not as clean and classic and beautiful as the Air Max 97. And as a dad shoe, it's going to fit into today's chunky trends that are happening with the Balenciaga Triple S, the Young Ones that will be released by Adidas, as well as the Waverunners by the Yeezy brands. And so there's a lot of things going on with really chunky soles. While this is not as exaggerated as the rest of the new releases that will be happening by a lot of different brands this year, I actually think the adoption of this shoe is going to be significantly much more popular than the initial iteration of it, where a lot of these things actually went on sale. So the Air Max 98, like I said, is designed very similarly to the 97, but there's just elements to it that just are not as clean. So today we're going to have the chance to look at the white and tour yellow version of the Air Max 98. There's a much larger release and probably much more hyped up release of the Air Max 98 Gundam colorway, which is a blue and red colorway that looks very similar to the popular anime Gundam. This tour yellow also sold out almost instantaneously. I'd say that the yellow one had significantly less hype to it. I was lucky enough to comp a pair through the Sneakers app. I heard it actually sold out within minutes, so I was really lucky to be able to try to get them. I actually had my sister try to get them as well for me, and she actually struck out, and she had also gotten on exactly at 10 a.m. So these released, I believe, on January 23rd or January 24th, and I received mine several days later through the mail. So, without further ado, here it is. Here's the tour yellow colorway. So there's a lot going on with the shoe, so let's start with the lateral side. On the lateral side, you're going to start with a navy nubuck that is on the bottom. Right above it is a leather that has actually hash marks in it. So if you look at it closely, you're going to be able to see the hatches. And then there is a yellow Nike logo with a navy outline of it. And then on the top side of it, you're actually going to see a silver mesh with lines throughout it. Right above the leather, you're going to see a 3M ridge that runs all the way along the shoe from the front to the back. And then right above that, you're going to see a silver mesh with white lines going above it. And so, like I said, there's a lot going on with this shoe. And finally, obviously, the most particular part of the shoe, if you look at the air unit, it looks exactly the same like the Air Max 97. And that's mainly because it is exactly the same sole. Moving to the bottom of the shoe, you are going to see the EVA midsole with the air unit. So it's a full-length air unit. On the lateral corner, you're going to see air written, which is kind of a nice touch. Moving over to the back, you're not going to see much here. It's the end of the nubuck and the extension of the leather. On the back of the shoe is a heel tab with a 3M hit in the middle and a navy around it. Moving over to the lateral side, you're going to see the nubuck extend all the way around with the leather above it. You're going to actually see significantly more of the silver mesh, and the lines are a little longer. And there's this actually odd leather piece that runs over here that also has an embossed feel to it. So there's actually ridges along the side of it. And at the front of the shoe, you're going to see much of more of the same of the nubuck, the mesh, as well as the leather. What is kind of cool is there's a Nike mark that is coming through the middle that comes right through here, which is interesting. And then finally moving up to the laces, it is white rope laces. And you're going to have what I believe are the initial stages of what the flywire stuff would eventually become. You're going to see the eyelets made out of 3M as well as navy, and hints of the yellow for the rest of the eyelets. So even though the shoe itself was relatively lukewarm in terms of reception initially, this Air Max logo has been around for a while, and it's still being used pretty extensively whenever things are retro. And so that is kind of a cool thing about the 98. Moving to the bottom of the shoe, there really isn't much here. The sole is exactly the same as the Air Max 97, and so you're going to see the same type of traction pads and everything there, and there is a Nike symbol in the yellow. The bottom of the shoe is also made out of a gray as well as black rubber. If you have ever worn an Air Max 97, the Air Max 98s are going to feel exactly the same. And unfortunately, the traction on these is not the greatest, and neither is the comfort. If you're used to Boost, if you're used to Vapor Maxes, if you're used to basically any type of foam technology that's come out in the last 10 to 15 years, these are going to be less comfortable than what you're used to. Alright, so how do these feel on foot? So if you've ever worn an Air Max 97, you know it's not going to be the most comfortable shoe in the world. In fact, it's heavy, it's clunky, and the upper is very inflexible and narrow. So the Air Max 98 has the exact same sole, but the upper is actually a little more comfortable. And the reason for that is simple. The first thing is that there is a mesh that is involved here that is significantly lighter as well as much more flexible than the Air Max 97. The second thing that makes the upper a little more comfortable is the fact that it's a bit wider. At least I think it is. I actually went true to size on the Air Max 98s, whereas the 97s I went a half size up and they were still a little snug and tight. With these, this fits perfectly when I go true to size. So from a sizing perspective, definitely go true to size. I wouldn't really recommend going a half size up unless you have an extremely wide foot. The base of this is relatively large, and so you're going to get good traction, great fit out of a true to size. So what are my final thoughts on the shoe? Cop or drop? Definitely cop. It's not for comfort. It's the same reason you would buy an Air Max 97. They're not the most comfortable shoe, but there's just something about them that fits into today's trend that's both retro and futuristic at the same time. I would say that Air Max 97 completely and utterly edges out this specific pair, the Air Max 98, in terms of the style. There's just something about the 97 that is so classic. It's just one of my favorite sneaker designs of all time. The 98 basically messes that up quite a bit. But I still love the shoe mainly because of its iconic status as a second-tier shoe, and also it fits really well into today's trend of relatively chunky sneakers. So if you want something that's not as crazy as a Triple S, but you want something that's still chunky, that's still somewhat stylish, and doesn't have as crazy of a design as the Yeezy Waverunners, I think the Air Max 98s really fit the bill. So I would say definitely cop as long as you really like the dad shoe look, or have nostalgia like I do with the Air Max 98s. Once again, if you like the content, definitely give me a thumbs up for this video. I'm going to hopefully be able to get the Gundams in a month, and I'll be doing a review on those as well. If not, I don't know what I'm going to do. If you like the content, definitely hit the subscribe button below. And more than anything, I really love the comments that people leave. I try to get back to as many people as possible, so let me know what your thoughts are on the Air Max 98. Do you love them? Would you buy them? Are you excited for any of the colorways? Are you interested in the dad sneaker trend that's kind of happening right now? So many things going on, and if you got a pair, what are your thoughts on it? Are they comfortable, not comfortable? Would love to know more. And now for what you've been waiting for, the on feet. Until next time, these are the Air Max 98s. Peace.